Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing and another coin update after the phenomenal flush this morning in the crypto sphere. And this is Revain, ZK, DAB, DIVI, and Nord, my lovely subscriber that has requested these 5 coins to be updated on a consistent basis with buy and sell areas, support and resistance, long-term holding spots to buy, and potential swing trades, and the best swing trade coin that I see. And he came up with a price that he felt was a phenomenal donation to support the channel, right? And I graciously accepted. And you can see we've got rejected by this fib circle, and we've had a phenomenal flush. And this is a very new coin, and I'm just now looking at it for the first time. But this is coming out at not a very good time, as the crypto sphere has flushed, and our volume indicator to current price, to current day, you can see the major traded areas down here. Yeah, it looks like we got a big topping pattern, right, where we've had consistent support and resistance besides 2 big fake outs right there, right? So I would say in this coin, come on, what just happened now? Zoom back out. I would say in this coin, you can see we've had consistent support and resistance right here, right? Let's go out a little bit more, right about there. So that would be an obvious spot where this coin's going to come down to right now. I would say an underneath target is down at this support and resistance line down near the volume indicator where the major volume's been traded. I would say that's probably where this coin's going to trade down to with the bearish sentiment in the market as the November flush is taking place, right? See down here in this major volume traded area, this is where I think the price is coming down to. The bottom part of this, right? Now as we zoom on in, auto zoom that, logarithmic, move that, there we go. Logarithmic I think makes it look better. You can see that's where we're going to trade down into, this major traded range. And you can see right now as we zoom on in, because there's not a lot of data on this coin and we're just getting familiar with it, you can see where I think you're going to trade down to $2.57. You're about to come on after a phenomenal from the top the other day. You're down nearly 50% in about 2 days. That's a phenomenal flush, and that's why these are high risk, high reward coins, because they can drop so much. Now you're on the 200-day in green and you're bouncing on this major volume traded area. This is a spot where you could get bought back up and maybe try to come up to some of the short-term moving averages that are coming down right here. You come down and get bought back up and then trade up into the we'll zoom in. We need, this is such a new coin. This will make it easier to see what I'm talking about. See this? Here's what I'm talking about right here. See how we're trying to bounce right now on here? Make that auto. See how we're trying to get a nice bounce off this green support area? And then you get, as we're zoomed in out of the hour time frame, you're running up into these overhead moving averages. And what's likely to happen and what I would watch out for is you start trading like this, and then you start humping and coming down. And I think you got to come down and at least test this underneath support and resistance line that's running from top left to bottom right. It's another it's that support line we just put on that overhead resistance. I think you're coming down to test this, and this is what I would watch out for this weekend to see if you come back down into here in Nord, right? And we went over these coins yesterday. You can see Revain came right down and actually dipped below in a quick fake out with a wick below this major support traded area that we got, because we have this falling triangle, or this falling channel, and we've actually hit this and got supported on it beautifully, right? Mine was like that. Now we're on the top side of it after a wick. And what I would watch out for in Revain coin today is, can you hold after this big wick right here? See that? When we were here the other day, we told you we were coming down to that 0.0093, but you flush and you had that big wick. Now when you get bought back up like that, it's because there's buyers there. They're stacked there along here. But what likes to happen if you can't bounce up quick is you start to leak back down and at least double bottom. So that's what I would watch out for today. Do you come back down and double bottom that? Or can you start to trade up and get into these moving averages, which is the least likely solution. But when you double bottom here, what happens? If you slip that, you're coming way down. That's what I would watch out for today in this coin. This is a critical area here. Can you get the support that you're trying to get on it right now and come up into this overhead moving average? Or are you going to get you're going to fail to get that support in the bounce today to come up to the 0.01129, and you're going to fall back through? And after you've met this target, you're going to come back for at least a double bottom. These are the two targets to watch out for today in Revain coin, right? They're a phenomenal pump either way. They're about equal distance. The pump up's 25%. The pump down's probably about 25% from current price, 17%, right? So that's what I'll look for in Revain coin, right? And the ZK, you can see it's come back up a little bit now. It's bounced off the low, and it looks like it wants to trade up maybe into this overhead moving average today, come up to the $50 mark, and then decide. But remember, we've been telling you, we were stepping down yesterday to the moving averages, and we broke through the moving average. And now if we go to the 3-hour time frame, the 200-day is right there, and it's getting supported off of that. But now you got the overhead moving averages coming down in the white and yellow, which are the short-term moving averages. So as this trades up into this, right, what's most likely to happen is it trades up into a downtrending short-term moving averages, and it comes up to around the $50 mark at the high end, and then it gets knocked down and beat down if it can even get that high, slips back below the 200-day. That's going to be trading like this, right? And then you start to trade down and look for some underneath targets. And your first obvious major underneath target, if you zoom out, is going to be back here. If we take out our horizontal ray tool, you can see where we had major support and resistance down there. See that? Once. You can look at all this support and resistance with our drawing tool. Support and resistance once, twice, 3 times, and then a flush down below it, right? See that? And then you came up and got resistance, and then flushed, then resisted, and then popped, right? So this would be your major underneath target right now on a breakdown from current price. You're looking at a $25 target. If you break down from the current price that you're at today, where you're hanging around at about the $42.10 mark, if you break back down and play something like this where you get bought up, get rejected by the short-term moving averages, come back down and break the $41 where the 200-day would likely come out to today into the future, and break that, you're coming down to the $25 level, right? So that's what I'm looking for there. We'll keep you updated on these coins a little bit later on today. My beautiful subscriber, you can see in DIVI, it's come down to your major underneath support that we've been watching, and now this is a critical zone. There's a multiple rings there. There's the blue ring there that you're bouncing on. There's the major rising wedge. We switch this to the logarithmic, so we got to move these up to make these make sense. See what I'm talking about? If we're not on logarithmic, it makes sense. In logarithmic, it doesn't make sense. I like most of my things in logarithmic. You can see we were trading within that major area. Then we broke out of it, got topped out by that ring we were talking about. And now if we can't hold this area that you're at, what's likely to happen today is it doesn't look like you're getting bounced off that, right? Is if you can't bounce off and do that, you're going to trade down and take the second route and trade back within this tight rising channel, and then top out along this ring and then flush. And if you break that, if you can't hold that major area right there, right, and this skinny rising wedge with the one fake out, if you can't hold it and you slip down, your technical target on this is the bottom of this channel, which is down here. And if we zoom on in, if you come back down and you fail to hold that, you're most likely coming down in a quick, swift motion, just like you've seen the coins collapse today, all the way down to 0.55 cents, because your underneath target, it's a little bit above that. It's where the wedge started. Your underneath target is right here at 0.0645. If you break down out of this wedge, if you can't keep in here, if you fall back in, right, and you fall out, you're going to slip down to here, right? Or you can even stay in this a little bit longer. But if you did this and fall out up here, you're coming down there. If you break this to the downside, this is your target, 0.060. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love. Peace and love.